Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Kevin. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. For those interested, request in any type of videos, whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. You guys keep the channel going. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So this is a comparison video where he wanted me to do Friday the 13th Part 6 versus Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, which I thought was an interesting choice of two films. I looked up, apparently other people have chosen these two films to compare. I guess because they are, for the most part, two fan favorites. Although I think there's more people fan of Dream Warriors than Friday the 13th Part 6. But they are two films I quite enjoy. They are two films that I would put in the top 3 of either franchise. I would say Elm Street 3 is my second favorite Elm Street film after Part 4. And I would say Friday the 13th Part 6 is probably my third favorite after Jason Goes to Hell and Part 7, The New Blood. The uncut version, which I have a fan... Looks like a VHS tape, but I'm fine with it because it's Friday the 13th. Now, Blade Runner, if it doesn't look HD, I can live with it. Now, both of these films, they're entertaining. They are fun. They have some cool soundtracks. One, you got Alice Cooper. He's back, the man behind the mask. The other, you got Dokken, Dream Warriors. Jason Voorhees. I like what C.J. Graham did with it. I like that he's more of a zombie. Create some more creative kills. Of course, you have Freddy Krueger showing even more personality, as in more than one classic one-liner. Welcome to prime time, bitch, is probably the biggest line in that film. They both have a sense of humor. Freddy's one-liners, among other stuff. Ken Sago's as King K, a lot of stuff he does. And then Part 6 of Jason Lives. All the little details to reference the older, either Universal monster movies or that era. Or the little kids being scared and wondering, well, what were you going to be when you grow up? Or Jason Voorhees doing a little James Bond type of thing for the intro. All those little things that made it separate itself from some of the other entries of Friday the 13th. I would say, though, long story short, that if I'm picking which one I like more as an overall film, I do have to go with Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. I think first and foremost, the fact that because it's Freddy Krueger, because you have the dream world aspect, that gives it more freedom to be even more creative, to be even more filled with ingenuity. And I think that's what showcased in the box office. Plus, with Freddy's personality, those combinations, you saw that the box office grosses got higher and higher, that got to a pinnacle with Part 4, which made 49 to 54, somewhere around there, like $1 million. Like, it made a lot of money. I keep thinking over 50 million, but at least 49 million. I know that. And while the Friday 13th, maybe 15, 20, maybe less than that. Not only because Friday 13th people, even though this changed it up a bit, they felt there's only so much you could do with a guy in a hockey mask. But with Freddy, because it's the dreams, like, you could do anything. You could showcase any world and still fit with the narrative. Because it's whatever the person's thinking, whatever the person's dreaming, whatever the person's imagination, Freddy can mess with that and enter that. And then because Freddy's personality, he's talkative, and he can have jokes, and he can be sinister, and you can hear a certain goal he has. Whether to possess someone in Friday Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, or going after these can't even say the word right. Systematically taking them out one by one. And while I do like some of the cast in Part 6, I do think the cast and Dream Warriors, you have to give it to that movie. Because while I do like Tom Matthews, and I think her name's Jennifer Cook, the other kids who get killed, they're kind of there. The girl that gets in the RV, the head through, and you see the imprint. Cool kill. The character is what it is. The guy driving it, which I think he's related to John Travolta, his cousin, I think. He's kind of whatever. There's the one girl gets like her head turned. They're kind of there. But the Dream Warriors, that cast, whether it be Patricia Arquette, whether it be Jennifer Rubin, whether it be Ken Sagoes, whether it be the character Joey, they definitely have a lot more to them. You get to see them as a group in these meetings where they interact with each other, where each one have the little either personality or the little detail, whether it be the kid in the wheelchair, whether it be the guy who sleepwalks, and how it kind of pertain to their dream power, the fact that they do get dream powers, and how they try to fight Freddy, some successfully, not some, they get killed. And they just have a lot more to work with. They have a lot more work with. Now, Graham, I'm not saying it's this three-dimensional character like a drama, but there's enough there that people can like and get into the characters and feel bad when they die. Because they're trying to defend themselves, or they're trying to fight back, but then Freddy succeeds at some points. And, of course, I didn't mention Heather Langenkamp. You also have her coming back. You also have, I always forget his name, he's the guy who would later be in Body Double. He was in the film Ghost Story. He plays the guy who worked with Heather Langenkamp, the guy who's overseeing these students, the guy who gets the holy water onto Freddy's remains. Again, I always forget the actor's name, because I'm bad with names, but I think overall you just have a stronger cast. C.J. Graham does well as Jason, but again, with Jason you can only go so far. With Freddy, the third film is when you definitely saw a lot more of his personality, because in the first two, still the darker, sinister Freddy in the shadows. We'll still say a good line or two, but here is definitely a bit more talkative, a little bit more in the spotlight, which will be even more so in the Part 4, The Dream Master, which is my favorite Elm Street film. And thus you get great lines of dialogue when he's telling Jennifer Rubin, "What a rush." "Sorry, kid, I don't believe in fairy tales." The whole thing where you have the talk show with Dick Cavett and Zsa Zsa Gabor. "Who gives a fuck what you think?" "You've been break on TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch." Just a lot more memorable lines because he's able to talk, because he's able to feature personality, so it just makes his performance more memorable. A bit more of the cream of the crop, so to speak. So I gotta give the cast, and I gotta give the killer, the acting, the personality to Dream Warriors. The music, I do like Dawkins' Dream Warriors. It's a great song. I would say I still like He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper. I still say I like that song more, but they're still both great songs. And Dream Warriors is still a solid one. The lead, I think Tom Matthews does a good job, but there's always that point of contention for me where obviously it's not his fault. He didn't mean to bring Jason back to life, but still he did. And thus, the reason people are dying, the reason Jason keeps killing for Part 7 and Part 8 and Freddy vs. Jason is because Tom Matthews' character brought him back to life accidentally. He admits he fucked up. He tries to rectify it. But again, if he had not dug up the grave, if he had not put that fence post in or whatever it was, and then lightning hit it, Jason would have still been a carcass, still would have been a rotten set of bones, he still would have been there, his Matty D hand up his Matty D ass, he still would have been worm food. So it's Tom Matthews' fault. I did. He tries to rectify it. He's sorry about it. He didn't mean to do it, but he still fucked up. He even says, I fucked up. So it's still his fault. So you don't have that point of contention with any of the characters in Dream Warriors because Freddy is still about... Freddy is picking them off one by one, and they had no say in it. You know, just how it is. Sorry, there was a moment of silence. Just trying to think, like, what other categories could I... Oh, the kills. Maybe the kills. I'd go into that. Both have creative kills, but I do have to give it to Dream Warriors. Just the kill alone with the guy who's sleepwalking, where his veins and stuff, they pop out here and they pop up here, and he's walking like a puppet in Freddy's. That to me is such a unique kill that you've never seen done before. You really never seen that done since, and it can be done because of the dream factor. And that, again, that becomes part of the intrigue that people see this film and the next film. They see these films in the theater. The reason they made more money than some of the other slasher films and slasher franchise is because you're able to incorporate more special effects. You're able to incorporate more... You're able to have this fantasy element. And wondering, what are they going to come up next? Like the cockroach thing and Dream Master, among other stuff. But that whole thing, that, again, such a unique kill. As much as I like a lot of the kills in Part 6, none of them beat that kill in Dream Warriors. I mean, again, it's hard to beat that. Same with the kill with lifting him up and Freddy come out of the TV and bashing her head through the TV set. And yeah, it's stuff that just, you sit there and go, wow, okay, I've never seen anything done like that before. And that makes it pop up more. Because we've seen kills where it was cool that Jason punches a heart out, but we've seen that, from another slasher films. Or the head twist, where you twist the head and it goes a 180. There's still good kills, or people get stabbed, but this just put it at a whole new level, and that's why I have to give it to Dream Warriors. So I gotta give it Dream Warriors for the kills, for the killer, for the cast. I think both are well directed, but Dream Warriors, I'll give Chuck Russell more credit because he also had to deal with a lot of crazy special effects, like the whole Freddy worm thing. This big special effect that rises out and tries to swallow Patricia Arquette, and Heather Langenkamp has to stab it near its eye or in its eye, and having to deal with that situation, and having to deal with all the little dream worlds in the third act. Whether it be the alleyway that Jennifer Rubin's in and her punt gear, among other stuff. Freddy with the chest of souls. The stop-motion skeleton. There's just a lot more that the director had to deal with, had to work with, and try to get this stuff done on a quick schedule, which a lot of these films have, on a low budget, because these films, not like they cost gazillion dollars. There's still, a respectable budget that these cost. In fact, what was the budget for Elm Street 3? Says here about $4 million. So that's a lot to deal with $4 million. And Friday 6? $3 million. So if these numbers are correct, if these numbers are factual and not, the internet, because can't believe everything on the internet. The fact that Chuck Russell took a budget that was $1 million more than Part 6, and yet had all these fantastical special effects in it, and like different locations because of the dream scenes and all that stuff, that's pretty damn commendable. In fact, I didn't realize till now that the budgets were that close. So, I mean, to be honest, Dream Wars looks like it costs twice as much as Jason Lives. So the fact it's that close, it's actually pretty amazing to me. So the director's got to be the captain of the ship. He's like, I mean, I don't know how he was on set because I wasn't there, but maybe he had to be a bit bossy. Maybe he had to be a bit, not dickish, but hey, we gotta get the stuff done. Maybe there's a lot of stress. But yeah, if you're that ambitious, sadly, sometimes that will have to happen. So I can't really blame the guy. So while I do like the directing of Part 6, I give it to Chuck Russell, who of course will go on to direct the Blob remake, this film back here, which is a favorite of mine, as well as The Mask with Jim Carrey, Eraser with Arnold, among other films. Which, that's an underrated Schwarzenegger film, Eraser. Always liked that one. But anyway, back to this. And that's, that stuff alone is why I have to give the Dream Warriors. I think a lot of people, I would be interested to see why someone would pick Jason Lives. And no, you're wrong, that's a wrong answer. It's an opinion. People can like whatever the fuck they want. People can pick whatever favorite they want. If you prefer Part 6 Jason Lives to Elm Street 3, please feel free to write in the comments, because I would be very curious to see what the reasons are. I'd be very intrigued to hear that. But I have a feeling most people would choose Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, for the reasons I said. Again, Jason Lives is fun. I know some people don't like it nowadays. Some people either they used to like it, they don't like it as much anymore, or they never liked it. But I still liked Jason Lives. Even the poster, like if you just compare the poster, which is the thumbnail, I like the poster of Jason Lives, but Elm Street 3, that's such a iconic poster. I'll use that word, iconic, with each of the characters. Now, granted, those characters don't look like they are in the movie, because I don't know who the fuck the guy is with the mace, or who's the girl in the, I don't know, dressing gown, or how you want to put it. But I'm guessing this is before, they didn't know what the film was, create a poster. It's still a cool looking poster, with the characters on each of the finger knives. It's hard to beat that poster. Although my favorite of the franchise is Elm Street 4. Because I adore that poster. But yeah, just a lot of things in categories that it wins over Part 6. Dan, the only thing I would say is, while I do enjoy Dawkins' Dream Warriors song, I like the Alice Cooper song a bit more. The reason I'm silent again, I'm trying to think of the score for each one. The score for each one I liked for what it is. I don't know if I picked one musical score over the other. But I like scores. I think both kind of the same. Both kind of the same. In terms of like how I feel about them, I don't mind either one. The sense of humor, like I said, they both have some fun moments. But I'll give it more to Dream Wars because of the one-liners Freddy has. I'm trying to sit here and think like other stuff that maybe I could put Jason Lives over Dream Warriors. It's not a whole lot, to be honest. But hey, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Both are good choices. Both make a fun double feature. But gotta give the win to Dream Warriors on this one. So there you go. But these are fun to do. So thanks to Kevin for the request. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.